Hello there, it's Carrie Rhodes here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm very excited about today's card making video. I'm making a light up tiered tray. These are products designed by my friend Becky Roberts for Spellbinders. So I am super excited. Check out this new die set that creates a tiered tray. 5 pieces in the set, and we're going to take a close-up look at them. The tray on the bottom has an opening that you can tuck your cute things into, as well as the tray that goes above it that's a little smaller. There's spindles to connect them, a cute decorative topper, and little feet to add a different color at the bottom or the base of the tiered tray. I cut mine from the new Holiday Distress wood grain paper that's light gray. I thought it was a really fun touch to die cut this in a wooden texture, but you could do yours in any color. Next is the tiered tray decor set, 19 dies in the set, and it makes the cutest little decor pieces to tuck right into your tray, like a gnome. Isn't that adorable? And we have pumpkins. There is a house in this set, which I'm gonna light up. There's also a stem for the pumpkins on this die that has leaves, and the little acorn die has another piece attached to it that creates the center for the flower. There is the house again that has a separate roof. There's a letter board with the word hello that you can stick right onto it. I love that little detail. There's a pitcher and a coffee mug. There's different leaves you can add into your tray, a plant, a cutting board, and a stack of books. So many fun things. Now let's put some of them together. So for my gnome, I die cut 2 gnomes, cut the hat off of the orange one, glued it down onto my gray. I die cut his beard from a very light gray colored cardstock and die cut that die again because it has the shoes on it from black, and I glued those right over the top. And then for the nose, I die cut this die again in white, and this time I'm going to use a Copic marker to color that nose a skin tone, and I'm going to use E11 for that, and it's really easy to do even if it's already glued into place. Just add a little bit of color. Speaking of adding color, I'm going to use another Copic marker, YR68, to add more color to the hat. It's just a darker orange, but this hat has etched lines into it, so you can really color that in, and it's a really helpful feature on all of the dies in the set that they're etched. So now I'm going to add the orange roof to my house, which I die cut from that same wood grain paper, and vellum to the back. The vellum is going to diffuse the light that I'm going to put behind it, and it allows me to glue a little colored door right into place. I also die cut this house from gray, and I'm cutting the chimney off and adding that on. So I've got all of my fun colors I'm using today represented on this house: the orange, the pink, and the gray. I'm going to add more detail to that with a Copic marker. Stay tuned for the results of that in a moment. I just cut actually a square piece of cardstock a little bit smaller than the letter board so I could glue the frame down and glue the felt part down in different colors, and it gave me a base to attach them to. Then I added the word hello, and when I glued this down, I decided it would be really cute to have this on there 3 times in the different colors I'm using today. So if you do this, I recommend gluing on the top hello, the bottom hello, and then centering the middle one. That would be a little bit easier and more evenly spaced than mine. So here's the pumpkin with the stem and a leaf if you like. I didn't actually glue that down because I'm not going to use that in that way on my card today. All right, I die cut 2 of the pots, one from orange, one from gray, and decided I would swap the top part that gives them a little extra dimension, just to give them a little more visual interest. Now the acorn you die cut once, but I wanted different colors for my acorn, so I die cut mine from a tan and a brown and decided to use 2 different acorns. If you don't make the things on your tier tray completely realistic colors, that's okay, because remember, these are home decor pieces. Just like this cute cutting board, which I know you can't see, but I tied a piece of twine to the top, which I saw on Becky's video introducing this set. I thought it was so cute, I had to do that as well. Also, she showed where you die cut the plant from green and just use a marker to color the stem part brown, or you could do a darker green because a lot of plants have a green stem and green leaves, but it gives you options, and that's what I love. Also, the leaves have etched detailing on them with the veins going through, and I thought that was really fun. I glued mine into my pot so that the stem is on the back of the pot and the leaves are on the front, and it's just a really realistic plant. I'm loving it. Now I have the little branch, and you can take the leaves from this and glue them on, or you could have a plain branch and you've got the other foliage there, also with etched lines. So the etched lines comes in really handy on the stack of books. You can take a fine tipped pen and trace those lines, and it gives you that little extra detail on these books. Now, you could just leave the etched lines. You don't have to do this step, but I thought it looked really cute, so I went ahead and did that. Now, let's take a look at the sentiments. This is the tiered tray sentiments set. 16 stamps in here, sentiments to go with your tray, but also stamps you can stamp onto your die cuts. This one right here, Home Sweet Home, is designed to stamp on the spines of these 3 books all at once. Isn't that clever? So I'm going to do that so you can see how that works. You just want to angle your stamp with the angle of the books, and then you're going to have a word on each, and maybe yours will come out better than mine. Yeah, a little bad stamping there that can be easily remedied with a marker or a pen. There's also a leaf branch and a heart you can stamp on your pitcher, your mug, your tray, or your cutting board, anywhere you want it. But I love that it has those extra little images to kind of enhance the die cuts. Speaking of enhancing the die cuts, I am doing that with my Copic markers on all of my images today, not just the gnome, adding in shading. And you can just follow the lines that are pressed into this paper from the die and add your little cute elements. You can color them different colors, add details to your books instead of stamping, tie twine on it. But here's a look at all of the things, how I colored them or shadowed them really. I added scallops to my roof and little lines to make bricks on my house, a doorknob on that door. It's just really, really fun to bring these to life with your markers. I loved it. I think these images are really fun, really cute, and could be used on their own without the tray. So that's extra use for them, right? Now we're going to put the tray itself together. I've glued the little black feet on. I love the contrast of the different colored feet. Then I glued the spindle to the back part of the tray, tucking it behind that opening. Then I'm adding the next tray up, and you can see I'm trying to use my grid mat to keep this straight and centered, and I did mostly good. But here you don't want to put glue on the front of the spindle. That's going to glue the front of your tray closed, and you're not going to be able to put things in front of that spindle. I had to do a little surgery, and I hope that you don't have to because you caught my tip just now. All right, so now I'm adding a third tray. I'm making a 3-tiered tray today by using the top tray twice and adding another spindle. So make your tray however you like, and because my tray's so large, I'm putting mine on a 5x7 card today, just so you can have a visual reference for the size of this piece. It's a good size. It will, a 2-tiered tray will fill up an A2 card. Here is the Pear Blossom Press One Light that I'm using to light up my card today. Now I have to remove the back of part of the tray to put my light there, so my light will show up in my vellum window. So I'm marking the sides of the house with a pencil, and then I'm going to cut that part away. So it's just a visual aid for me to be able to remove just the part that I need. So I'll snip that off, and then I'm going to attach my house to the front of the tray. So I'm just going to put a little glue right on the edge of the house, and I want to nestle that up to the left side. I had a little pencil mark I decided I better remove so that didn't show, and then scoot that over to the left side of the tray, and I have a gap. I don't know how this happened, but it's easily fixed with a plant. So no worries. All right, so here's that one light. It has a battery in it, and all you need to do is remove it from its packaging, pull out the little paper that protects the battery from turning on and off in the packaging, line up the plus symbol on the battery with the plus symbol on the battery casing, press the button, the light turns on. So we're going to just figure out where we want this light to go, and then I just need to adhere it into place. That's going to look great behind my little house. So I'm adding a glue dot to the battery casing, and that's going to hold that in place so that I have like a minute to make sure I've got it where I want it. And once I have it how I like, I can tape that battery pack down. I'm just using some of my yellow tape from Spellbinders, and that's going to hold it down for me. All right, next we need to let the recipient know that this is an interactive card. So I have the interactive labels from My Favorite Things. I'm stamping the press image or sentiment saying, yeah, with gray ink on a really light gray piece of paper, so it doesn't stand out too much on my tiered tray. I'm putting that right on top of the button. So hopefully the person receiving this card will get the clue to press right there and it'll light up. Next, I took all of my images and kind of arranged them how I thought they might look good in my tray before gluing them down. Once I had everything where I liked it, then I removed them piece by piece and started gluing things into place. So you just want to take care where you put your glue, little bits at a time, and then you can go back in and glue like the top parts of an image or a piece to the top part of the tray or the bottom part of the next tray up. And that's going to really help hold things down. And now I am adding my pumpkins all in a row on that third top tray and a little leaf. I've got my books. I'm tucking a little acorn behind the bow there, and that finishes up my tray. Now I didn't use all the images on the tray, but I will use all the images on my card. Next, we need to adhere this to our card, and to do that, you need an adhesive foam tape that's as thick as your battery pack. I'm using some Heavy Doodle foam tape. This is the right thickness, but if yours isn't, you can double it up, and that should help you be able to stick this down so the battery is flush with the card, and the rest of your tiered tray is flush too. All right, now I am going to create the background for my card. This is going to be my countertop. It's paper that's looking kind of like marble, right? So that could be my marble countertop, and this is going to be my wallpaper. So I'm adding some light gray ink around the edges with a blending brush, and that's going to really help draw the eye into the center of my card. And this paper is 4 3/4 by 6 3/4. I'm just gluing my 1-inch strip of marble countertop to the bottom of my wallpaper, and then I can use my tiered tray and make sure I've got room to add my sentiment. This is another tip from Becky that she told me, is that you want to plan your card around the sentiment. If you're stamping right on your card, you want that image like in the upper right corner or something, or the left corner in this case. Make sure you're leaving room for that when you build your tiered tray. Like, keep that in mind, or stamp your saying first, build your tray around the saying. All right, so I'm going to glue this down to my 5x7 card. So it's a 10-inch by 7-inch piece of cardstock scored at 5 inches. And you can see I've got a nice white border all the way around my background. Then I have some double stick tape on the back of my battery, and I've got foam tape all over. And now I can set this right down onto that marble countertop. It's so cute. And then I can take one of my extra pieces, and the orange flower, the green leaf, and I'm going to attach that so it's like sitting on the counter, and I feel like this just kind of helps ground it a little bit more. Also, having the countertop really helps so it doesn't look like my tray is just floating on the card. I kind of like giving it a little bit of a scenery. All right, so speaking of scenery, on the inside of the card, I'm adding another strip of that marble paper, and that is going to be like the countertop on the inside, but I'm not doing the wallpaper, so I have a nice white space to write, but I'm going to take all those leftover images because I love them so much, even the cutting board with the twine, which I know maybe you shouldn't put twine on the inside of the card, but I'm breaking the rules. I had to use it. It's so very cute. I glued those in place and added a leaf to my flower, and I'm stamping another sentiment that says, "You make me feel like home." And I thought that was just so sweet on the inside there. And now I have my completed card. Oh, you make me feel right at home. I left that out. So there is my completed tiered tray card with a light up house. And I think this is so much fun. If you want to extend the use of the tiered tray, Becky also designed a shopping cart collection and they have like little things you add inside a shopping cart that you could also add to this tier tray. So I will link all of those things for you in the description box below. And if you're new here, feel free to subscribe because I have new card making and paper crafting videos all the time. I'll see you soon on the next one. Happy stamping! Bye!